Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Wednesday, September 25th. It is 6:24 right now. Market's gonna open in about 6 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and set up this room real quick and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. A few things to update here. One last thing. And it looks like we are good to go. So let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. Link is sent out. Stream out. Good. Team chat. All right, perfect. So link is sent out. Looks like people are making their way in. So as people join in, I'm gonna go ahead and start marking up liquidity over here. Down to 4 hour. Down to the 2 hour. Down to the 1 hour. Down to the 30 minute. Down to the 15 minute. Down to the 5 minute, or back down to the 1 minute. And it looks like we are good to go. All right, guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Wednesday, September 25th. It is 6:28 right now. Market's going to open up in about 2 minutes. So I'll have the breakout ready for you guys here shortly. See what's here so far. Morning, Steven. Morning, Joe. Morning, Jamie. Morning, Maria. Morning, Kim. Daniel, Madhu, everyone. So let's see. Let's see what we got here. Okay, so I got the breakout. There you go, guys. Check out the Zoom chat for the breakout entry. Got everything set up here. Some else ready over here too. We got market opening up in about 30 seconds. So on market open, we will take the breakout. We got market opening up in about 20 seconds. We got 10 seconds till market open. Market opening up in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Market is now open. So there goes the entry for the
Order
breakout. Currently running right now. So I want to make sure everything is proper here. All right, let's see. Profit target is at 725. Stop loss is at 525. Just make sure everything is here set properly. All right, perfect. So we'll let that run for now, and we'll come back to this in a few. All right, so I'm gonna leave it as is. There was a breakout for the day, guys. I'm just setting it and forgetting it, not really doing anything to it. Just gotta let it play through. And we'll come back to this here in a few. So going back over here to our main chart. So the liquidity over here got hit. So if you guys took the first level of liquidity, it was right here at 42,638. And then the upper level right here at 42,656. Two levels of liquidity here got hit for full TP if you guys took those two levels. The breakout is currently still running, so I'm letting the trade run, letting it breathe. Just, it's a set and forget entry. So I take the entry and then let it run to TP or let it run to stop loss. The problem with the market lately is that this has been happening, right? It's been ranging a lot, so it hasn't really been moving super direct. It's kind of just going back and forth, but just gotta trust the process, let the trade run. So I'm letting the trade run here. I'm gonna set up the opening price, which was right here. Color this blue. Again, for the market flow, V2s, I typically don't look for entries until after 7 or 640. Between 640 and 7 is usually the time for the market flow V2s. So I'll come back and take a look at this again in a few. Again, our breakout is still running right here. It's kind of just going back and forth. Typically, it goes straight to TP or straight to stop loss, but lately, this is kind of what's been happening every day this week. It's been a back and forth movement, kind of a whipsaw move, and then eventually there tends to be some sort of directional movement at some point. So we'll keep coming back to the breakout to just check on it in a little bit. Here, I'll put a alert there actually, so that I can know. All right, so alert's been set. Trade's currently running. And we'll just see where this goes. So, all right, guys, we'll see where this market ends up going. Let's take a look at the news for today. I believe there's news coming up today at 7 o'clock. Okay, so this is probably going to be the catalyst to push price around. There was some news here pre-market, but it was all low impact, so I'm not really going to mark it up. It's not really necessary. I guess I can mark building permits at 4:30. That's the only thing I can think of that, I mean, could have slightly affected the market, but not really. So we had building permits over here at, I believe, 4:30. And then we have new home sales at 7 o'clock. And then, of course, gas stock change at 7:30. So we got two news events coming up over here at 7 o'clock. And then 7:30. All right, 6:34 right now. It's about 6 minutes till 6:40. So around that time, we'll start looking for some market flow V2s. I mean, if you guys are looking for normal market flow V2s right now, there's opportunities for entry, but I'm not taking any at the moment. So let's see. Looks like there was an entry that happened right here. So price pushed up. right here at 630, price pulled back down. The entry for market flow V2 would have been down here. So there's like one entry for market flow V2 that came up right here. That was before 640. And then looks like another one right here as well. This was the entry level, it looks like the 600 mark. So that's basically where the market flows came in from. Price came up, came back down, would have filled right here at the 600 mark, pushed back to TP, came back for the retracement, filled again right here at the 600 mark, back to full TP. And then it hasn't pushed up since. So since then, it's kind of just sitting. So we'll see what happens here in the next couple of minutes. It's 5 minutes till 640. So again, around 640 is where the market flows will technically start to come in. If we get a sell signal right here, we can start looking for some sell market flows around 640. But as at this very moment, the sell signal hasn't closed yet. So what might happen here is price might come down, bounce off the sessions, and then shoot all the way back up. This has kind of been the the theme for the past couple of days. It's been a lot of whipsaws back and forth. You guys can see here. I'll go to the clean chart actually. So you guys can see here, there's not really much direction. A lot of back and forth movement. So market opened right here at 640, or sorry, 630. Color that blue. And you guys can see here, there's not too much direction here. Price kind of just goes back and forth, spikes up, spikes down, spikes back up, spikes down. And then my guess is that price is going to spike right back up again eventually. So a lot of back and forth movement here. And we'll just continue to wait to see where this ends up going. Price is currently at the sessions right here. So this is an area of manipulation. There's a lot of liquidity sitting down here, of course. First level of liquidity right here just got hit at 42,566. If you guys took that level, looks like it already hit. If you went for the normal 10 points. So liquidity right there got hit for 10 points. And here we go as price starts to swing back up. Yeah, Brock said price is already acting up. Yeah, no, exactly. Nice. So Jamie actually got out earlier. So Jamie said done for the day. Have a great one. She got in real quick, just made her profit, and then she bounced out for the day. She just made that quick little profit. She looks like she took the liquidity above, which makes sense. All right, so it looks like we're going to be sitting for a while. Let's see where we're at. So price is just sitting right here around the sessions. It's sitting around the sessions and the liquidity right here. You can see price is trying to swing back up, but it's having trouble getting back up. There is liquidity right here, so it might knock out this lower level liquidity before it swings back up higher. See if I can clean this up a little bit. Back up from here. Man, this thing's a mess. All right, so the breakout is surprisingly still live right now. You guys can see my stop loss is down here at this red line. So let's see if this thing swings right back up. Daniel mentioned the BB3 was against us for today. Yes, the BB3 over here is actually for... The thing with the BB3 though is that it was right at the session, so that's a little tricky. But yeah, like you said, it was. Let me see how far did it push down from here. Let's use this price range. Yeah, the BB3 would be against us because it'd have to hit 50 below here. So I'm hoping the BB3 doesn't work today. I'm hoping the BB3 doesn't work today. See, that's the problem when you use different strategies is that they sometimes they'll conflict. It's hard to choose which one you'd rather go with. The thing with the breakout is that it's hit twice this week already. So like I was kind of expecting something like this, some sort of fake out or even, reversal move. Because and I'll show the data a little later. Or yeah, I'll pull up the data right now. Or actually, I'll leave it right now because we have some market flow V2s coming up soon. So let's see, if you guys are looking to take a market flow V2, it's currently 640. The market flow V2 would happen right here. A lot of the entries are against the breakout today. So we have some possible market flow V2s for a sell, and we are stopped out for the breakout today, which is all good. One loss for the breakout this week. We had a win on Monday, Tuesday, and then a loss today. I was kind of expecting the loss because, and I'll show you the stats a little later. The breakout, there's some weeks where it has like just straight win, but there's some weeks where most weeks where there's like maybe one loss in the week. So uh, we were able to shake out that loss, and then hopefully the next couple trades will be all wins for Thursday and Friday, of course. So if you guys want to take a market flow V2, there's a possible market flow V2 setting up right here. Again, I got stopped out on the breakout. Which was kind of expected for the day. So here's market flow V2. The entry would happen at the 70 mark right here. You're looking for the level that's past the pivot right here. So this is the first level past the pivot. If you guys are looking to take the market flow V2. So this is for the bigger move. If you guys want to take the smaller move, you can also take the regular market flow V2 for 10 points. So it just depends on like what you guys are looking for. If you guys want to take the regular market flow V2 for 10 points, it looks like it already hit TP right there. So price came up, filled the market flow V2, and it hit TP right there. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get into it on my NinjaTrader. This would have recouped some of my losses on the breakout, but it's all good. So price came up, filled the order right there. I was a little kind of sketched out on this entry because it's right at the session. So that's like one of the things that I was kind of worried about taking this. That's why I decided not to take it. But if you guys took it, the market flow V2 for 60 points is currently running in profit. It's about to hit full TP, it looks like right there. Damn, I should have just took it. This would have recouped my loss. Yep, so full TP right there. If you guys took the entry right there at 60 points. So from the breakout, I'm taking a three contract move. So that's about 1,500 risk. And then this right here would have recouped my loss. I should have taken it, but it's all good. I would have taken this with a 5 contract. So 5 times 5 times 60. Yeah, I would have been back at break even for the day. So it's all good. This is why it's kind of good that you use both of the strategies together, because you can lose the breakout, then you can take the market flow V2, and then they'll balance out. So I would have lost 1,000. Well, I'll take a screenshot of my losses for the day. I would have lost 1,500, but then I would have made 1,500 on this trade right here with half risk, and I would have basically balanced back out. So it's all good. I didn't take the trade here because it was right at the session. This is kind of like my rule of thumb. I don't like to trade around the red flags, but if you guys took it, this here would have recouped the loss because I would have taken 5 contracts on this, and I took 3 contracts on the breakout, and it would have balanced out for break-even day. So it's all good. I'll eat that loss for the day. And let's put this over here under the breakout. So let's see. We haven't had a loss in a while. What was I calling this? And some. All right, so that one hit, it didn't hit, and I'm going to take a screenshot of this so that we have this for our stats. I need to do a test on this. I haven't done a deep test on the market flow V2s yet. I've done a deep test on the breakout, but not for this yet. See, the entry came up at, let's see, 641. So this is kind of where you can double dip your hand into the trade. So like basically, like I said earlier, I would take this on well, I did take this on a 3 contract. So on this, I took 3 contracts for the breakout, would have lost 1,500. And then for this one over here, this one's a little better because it's a one to two risk to reward. So I would have risked 750 on this trade to make 1,500. So if I would have taken this trade here, it would have basically balanced out. The point difference would have been different, but the profit would have been the same because it would have been different contract size for each entry. So looking at our stats for this week so far, guys, on Monday we had a was it 23rd? Monday I made a mistake. So Monday we took the momentum breakout, but I got out at 50 points because my trailing stop pulled me out at 50 points. So that was my profit for Monday. And then for I also took a market flow on that day, so I added a little more profit to my accounts. And then yesterday we took the momentum breakout. That was a full TP. So there are my profits for that one. And then right here, we took the breakout, and I'll show you guys my losses and then my stats for the week, profit-wise, so that you guys can see where I'm currently at. So I'll look for some more market flow entries, but as of now, if you're just taking the 2 main entries, those are the 2 main entries that we take for the live session. It's like the breakout and then the market flow. There's still more market flow entries coming up right here. So if you guys want to take some more, there are more opportunities right here. So for example, price shot back up right here. The entry would have happened right here at the 550 mark. And then of course, for these, you go for the smaller moves. You go for the 1030. So there goes another one right there that came up. Once this here closes, if price swings back up again, there would be another opportunity right there for entry as well. So here we go, guys. Here are my stats for the week so far. So you can see I'm still in profit for the week. I'm showing you guys this to be transparent because you're never going to find 100% strategy. Like the 100% strategy is just not going to happen. You're going to have some losses here and there. And with the stats that I pulled for the breakout entry, it's okay to eat the losses because they're going to balance out. So for this week, we had 2 wins. So here are my weekly profits right now. I'm still up in profit 1,600 right here, 1,000 right here, basically 1,000 across all the accounts. Because we had a win on Monday, we had a win on Tuesday, and then today we had a loss. So today's my loss right here. I lost 1,500 per account. It was a little more because I had to adjust the TP stop loss slightly, but I mean it's fine. That's how it's set for him. So just a little bit of a bigger loss right here than usual. It's supposed to be 1,500, but I think this is incorporating the fees and whatnot. So here are my losses, and then here are my current profits for the week. So I'm still happy with my profits for the week so far. Hopefully Tuesday and Thursday, or Thursday and Friday. Today's Wednesday, so Thursday and Friday are going to be wins for the breakout. And then if we do get that, then we'll be able to, basically recoup the loss from today, and then stack up some more profits. So another market flow V2 right here for a full TP, guys. If you guys took that, you guys can see I had it marked up at the 540 mark. So price came down, came back up right here at the 540, triggered the order, came straight down to full TP. Again, if you guys want to take another entry, it's going to be at the same level right here. So there'd be opportunity right here. The cutoff is 7 o'clock for entry. So we'll keep looking for any possible opportunities here, but looking at this so far, so the first entry over here for market flow V2 is a full TP for 60 points, and then the smaller entries right here, right after, 1 entry, 2 entries, possibly a 3rd entry right here. as it continues to push through. Let's see. Stanley said his stop came out 25 points before his stop loss. That usually only happens if you blew your account, Stanley. So you might have been over leveraging with your contract size. You got to keep track of your yeah. I mean, it's the trailing drawdown that kind of gets you sometimes, because sometimes it seems like you have like space, but the trailing drawdown is really what kind of gets you, and you don't realize it until it just stops you out automatically. But I mean, it's all good. Like we talked about, it's kind of worth the risk right now because the resets are only 35 bucks. You're trying to get past like right away. All right, so another opportunity over here for a market flow V2. I'll put it down right here. It's 6:50, guys, so 10 minutes till 7. Once 7 o'clock hits, you usually have to cut off for the market flow V2s. If you guys want to keep trading it, feel free. We do have high impact news coming up at 7 o'clock, so I probably would be careful about that. See, CJ said, yeah, normally I wouldn't take it, so it's so close to the sessions, but he changed his mind after looking at the 3-minute and the 5-minute. Yeah, no, definitely. So the thing with this, CJ, I would be okay if it's rejecting off the session. So this right here, if I really wanted to take the entry, I would have been okay with it. The time I wouldn't take it is if the TP has to push through the sessions, right? Because like whenever it goes towards the sessions, it usually bounces off. But if you're going towards the sessions for entry, so it comes up like it did right here, bounce directly off the session and comes right back down. So in this situation, although I'd be a little cautious about it, I'd be a little more like okay to take this versus if sessions was in the other direction. Let's see. Madhu said any reason the breakout was for a buy? Well, that's just the strategy, Madhu. Strategy based off the momentum. So that's why we took the buy. Madhu said before market open looked like the momentum signal was red. Yeah, that's the strategy. That's why it was a buy. So that's the whole reason. So you basically answered your own question. So if you look back at the previous ones, look at the one from Monday, look at the one from Tuesday, and you look at what you just mentioned, that's the exact reason why we took it. Like I said, I'm not going to tell you guys exactly what I'm looking for, but you pretty much figured it out. It's not that difficult. It's based off the momentum. So yeah, that's the strategy basically. All right, so back to this over here, guys. We have another entry right here for market flow V2. It's right here at the 20 mark. So I don't know if it already filled it earlier and came back down, or if it just filled it right now and it's now coming back down. But it is currently running right now. So I'm not in any of these positions here. I'm just marking these up for you. Like I said earlier, guys, it's going to be hard for me to take both of the entries. If I'm going to have to choose between the breakout and the market flow V2s, I'm going to go with the breakout because the breakout I've tested it far enough. And let me go over here to the stats real quick. So there's no more entries right here right now. This one's currently running, which is market flow V2. But let me go to the stats for the breakout. So this is why I trust the breakout, because the stats over here. So I went a little bit further back. I'm going to try to go back even further. So I went back until November of last year. So these are the stats. Sometimes you're going to get some back-to-back like losses, but there's not going to be very many. Usually you're going to stack up a lot of wins before you get to that point. But here are the stats for the 1-to-1. So it's from November up until September. It is 45 wins, 17 losses, total profit of 2,800 points. And this is what the stats look like. So for September, it's actually been really, really good. So you can see over here, it's been a lot of wins. There's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Went on a 9-win streak, and then 1 loss on the 18th. And then we've been on a current pretty big win streak right now too. So win streak right now is currently, or it was from the 19th up until the 24th yesterday. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4 wins, and then today was a loss, right? So that's what I was saying earlier. I was kind of expecting a loss here because we've had a win streak. Whenever we have a super win streak like this, I'm like, okay, it's a loss. It's bound to happen because it's just part of that's just how it works, right? So you're not going to get to me at 100%. So For the most part, September's been pretty solid. There's only been 2 losses for the whole month of September. If you look back to February, there was actually no losses. This was probably the best month, February. It's not the full month either. It's just from the 20th till the 29th. It's whatever I could pull data from. Um, yeah, for these over here, I had to go like into individual contracts to identify. But I pretty much pulled the stats from November up until now, and the win-loss ratio is pretty solid. So like on days like this where I just got to eat the loss, I'm gonna eat the loss. I just have to. Um, it seems like the only time we get caught in these trades where they go opposite is when the market kind of ranges a little bit. So those are the stats right there for the 1-to-1. If you want to do the 1-to-2, these are the stats for the 1-to-2. Obviously, there's going to be more losses here because stop loss is tighter. It's a little bit the same though. So it's only off by like a few trades. The win-loss ratio is a lot worse, and the profit's a little worse too. So for the 1-to-1 from November up until September, it was 2,800 points profit. And then for the 1-to-2, it's 2,000 points profit. So obviously that's why I went with the 1-to-1 because it's a higher win rate and then more profits, of course. All right, so the market flow V2 right here hit full TP, guys. So let's see. For the market flow V2 entries, there was the full entry right here, the first one that hit for 60 points, and there was 1, 2, 3 entries right after. So this is about 90 points right here for market flow V2 entries. If you guys took any of them that came up today. Again, it's 6:56 right now. We have 4 minutes till 7. So we have some time here until price ends up reaching the limit, which is 7 o'clock. Let's see, Brock said, or maybe when the market opens within the previous day range. Yeah, I mean that could be it too, Brock. That's a good sign to it. Here, let me do that real quick. So I didn't even usually I mark this up, but I didn't do it today. So let me mark up the market structure to see what it looked like. I don't know if Jason's here today. Usually Jason kind of gives a little heads up of like what he saw. No, so looking at this here, I'm just looking at it now. This is kind of tough. I don't know if Jason's here right now, but we had the Asia range over here. So I'm just doing my previous analysis of like what I would do when we were doing the news strategy. So Asia session range. This was London manipulation. And then this would be New York reversal. But let me see what it looked like at 5:30. Okay. Yeah, Jason. So yeah, this would have played out for the reversal, like you said, like we would have identified. Yeah. Yeah, so I think the correction back up is still due to happen because this is why I didn't like the strategy as much to use it as a standalone. Because if you go before 6:30 right here, so if you're looking at the reversal actually would have been to the upside, so it would have been for a buy. But the candle right before market open, then this could have kind of flopped it a little bit because the reversal would have now been for a sell, right? Yeah, it's too subjective. That's why I didn't like the other strategy. So the previous breakout that we were using, I used news analysis and then I used the technicals here and I used market structure. And I just didn't like it because I could never really be for sure about like what direction I was trying to take it. So like for example here, this is how I would have identified it. I would have predicted this to be New York reversal. It would have been different. So if I analyzed this before this candle, I would have been like, okay, this is gonna for sure be a buy. But then this candle comes up. So now I'm like, okay, is this still a buy or is it now a sell? Right. It's tricky. It's not as it's not as objective as like how I'm doing it now. Because now it's just based off the momentum signals. So yeah, Stanley said I'm just going to really risk it going forward. I've been risking it, but being conservative, that's what's been messing me up. If not, I would have passed. Yeah, exactly, Stanley. You got to choose one or the other. You can't be conservative and risky. You got to be either risky or you got to be conservative. Um, I think right now, because you're in the eval stage, it's better to be risky because you can just keep like if you want to reset your account, you can just reset it. But once you're funded and you have the PA account, then you should switch to being obviously more conservative. So we got high impact news right here. Not really too much of a move. Let me check the news real quick. So the news right there was positive. We have new home sales, building permits, both positive news right here. I mean, this was kind of expected. So I was expecting this to happen because of the interest rate cuts. So yeah, of course, new home sales are going up. The home data is probably going to get better. So like from now until like the end of the year, the home data is going to end up being more, everything is going to be better. So building permits, new home sales, retail sales, et cetera, because the interest rates went down by a 50 points. So it's gonna be cheap money now. So like basically people who had issues pulling money are not gonna have those issues anymore. And that people are gonna be spending more, stuff like that. It's not necessarily good for the economy because just because people can pull out credit doesn't mean they can pay it back. But that's the consumer side of things. All right, guys. So it's 7 o'clock right here. I'm pretty much done looking for the market flow V2. So looking at the market flow V2s for the day, it's actually pretty good. The breakout didn't work out, but the market flow V2s over here would have brought us back into profit if we took everything. So this one over here would have recouped the loss from the breakout. This would have been back to break even. And then these three trades over here would have been net profit. So another 30 points right here. So if you guys took all of the entries for the day, nice work. If you guys didn't, it's fine. We had 2 wins for this week so far with the breakout, and then this loss was due. Like I said earlier, guys, it's going to be hard. Well, if you're trading on Apex, it's going to be hard. You have to choose between the breakout or between the market flow V2s, because if you guys remember the entries from yesterday, so the breakout from yesterday ran for a really long time, right? If you guys remember the breakout from yesterday, I'll just pull it up real quick. So this is the breakout from yesterday. This thing ran until 7 o'clock. This makes it impossible for you to take the market flow V2s. The other thing that you can do is you can trade half of the accounts with the breakout, and then you can trade the other half of the accounts with market flow V2. If you wanted to do that, feel free. But today I wasn't expecting to take the breakout, or sorry, I wasn't expecting to take the market flow V2s because I was expecting to hold on to this position into 7 o'clock, like we did yesterday, and the same with like what we did on Monday. So this is Monday and this is yesterday's. They kind of look exactly the same. Basically, we had to hold the breakout up until 7 o'clock. And because we were holding on to that position, I wasn't able to take the market flows. So today I wasn't expecting to take the market flows. I wish I would have taken it though, because this would have been a perfect entry. But because of the situation yesterday and the day before, I just wasn't expecting this to be the case. So yeah, if you guys want to take the market flows, feel free to take the market flows. If you guys want to take the breakouts, feel free to take the breakouts. If I was to choose one or the other, I would take the breakouts. And the reason for that is because I have the data for the breakouts. So like I said earlier, guys, I did a pretty deep back test on it from November of last year up until September. I'm going to keep going back. So today I'm going to go back even further, and I'm just going to keep back testing it up until like the whole year of 2023. I kind of just want to see how it played out for the whole year. And then understand like when are situations where I need to adjust. So like the same thing like you mentioned earlier, Madhu, if you're still here. Let me see if Madhu's still here. So Madhu, like you said, your analysis for like asking me why did I take the buy? Your analysis pretty much explained the reason of the opposite, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up the data here, and if the data shows that there's a tipping point where we start to take the opposite trades, that's where I would take the opposite, right? So do you see the logic behind that? So the strategy right now is perfect because the win-loss ratio is high. Profits are pretty good for this whole data set. If the profits become negative, then I just do the opposite. So instead of taking the buy here, I would have taken the sell. Instead of taking the sell here, I would have taken the buy. That makes sense to you guys. It's very logical. Everything that I do is very logical, and I try to set it up in a way that it just kind of dummies down the trade. So the strategy is very dummied down. There's only one indicator that I use, which is my momentum indicator, and that's literally it. So all I'm taking is the momentum indicator. I've tried it on different time frames. So I've done the 1 minute, I've tried the 10 minute. Actually, I should go back and retest if you guys ever want to go back, if you guys are bored or, for whatever reason you guys want to go back and test. So for example, over here, if we were doing the 10 minute, this here would have been a sell. Or actually, no, it still would have been a buy. Sorry, I take that back. Still would have been a buy. But if you guys want to go back and do data like that, so the way that I came up with the strategy was super simple. I just went over here to the 1 minute, and all I did was I saw a pattern that happened between market open and 6:30 basically. That's all I did. So I basically pulled up every day. So if you see my chart over here, I went on the 1 minute chart. I looked back every single day here. So this is about 62 days. I went on a 1 minute chart, 62 days, same time every day, 6:30, and I identified a pattern that happened at 6:30. And I based that pattern off the catalyst, which is a momentum signal. So that's all I did. I went back 62 days on the 1 minute chart, looked for a pattern here, found the pattern. I put the pattern into my data sheet over here, and then I figured out a strategy that worked long term. So I'm having the mentoring session later today, guys. So if you guys want to hop on the mentoring session, I can answer some questions. If you guys need some help putting a strategy together, I mean, I have a lot of ideas. So like over the weekend, when I put this strategy together, I went back and I saw a lot of other things too. So not only this, but I saw strategy based off the pivots, saw strategies based off the high-low indicator. I saw strategies based off the levels, the SRs. There's a ton of different strategies that can be applied, but I just figure out and apply, what I've found to just kind of resonate with my trading style. So price looks like it's starting to correct back up now. I think Jason has some pending orders there. Let's see what we got. Yeah, so Jason said it plays out correct down, then just waiting for it to go back up. He has his buy stop already set at 42,260. Oh, yeah, it looks like you're probably trading on indices, huh, Jason? Because your pricing is way off compared to ours here. This is the actual real price. Price is currently at 42,520. So if your entry is at 42,260, it looks like you're trading on a different broker, on like an indices broker. But I'm assuming it's somewhere down here. Let's see. I think yours is probably off by like 400 points. So your entry is probably around here on 6. You said 42,260. I think the actual number is 42,660 here. Yeah. You're just on a different broker, so the pricing is off. That's the thing that's tricky about trading with a I don't want to say bootleg broker, but basically bootleg broker. Like a broker. I only call it bootleg because it's not the real thing, right? If you're trading with the asset of YM or US30, the real asset is YM. And I just call them bootleg brokers because they kind of set their own pricing. So it doesn't necessarily mean they're good or bad, but they're bootleg because they're just basically mirroring the movement and setting their own price. So it's fine. That's just how different brokers work. And that's how a lot of brokers make their own money too, right? They make money off the spread. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Jason said Funded X and Pepperstone. Pepperstone is good. So like, even though, I said bootleg broker, I think Pepperstone is still a good one. If you can use Pepperstone, Actually, no, I haven't used Pepperstone Pro. I'm getting mixed up with IC Markets. IC Markets is a good one, but they pretty much kicked everybody off. All right, guys. So you guys can see that the market here is starting to slow down. This is why I don't trade after 7 o'clock. So 7 o'clock hit, and you can see here the price is just going sideways. Price is going sideways, and the ATR is super low. It's down to 19. So earlier this morning, the ATR was like at 40. It was at 30, 40, and now it's at 19. And it just keeps getting smaller. This is why I don't trade after 7 o'clock. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat, and then we'll go from there. But yeah, so going back to just review the entries that came up for today, guys. We had the breakout for the day, which didn't play out, unfortunately. We had 2 wins for this week, two wins, one loss for this week. Hopefully the next two are wins, and then we'll be back in some pretty good profit. Profit overall is still good so far. So if you guys look at my stats for the week, I mean, this looked better. So yesterday's profits looked a lot better, but it's okay. It happens. So like today these are my losses. I just want to be transparent to show you guys that it's okay to see the red, right? I know some people, if you see red on your account, you start to go crazy. You start to feel like you're blowing it. You're going to mess up your account. But realistically, you can see here for my weekly profits, even though I'm red for the day, I'm up for the week. I feel like it's a psychological thing, right? If someone sees red on their account, it makes them want to revenge trade or overtrade, and then they start to go down a downward spiral. So don't let that happen to you guys, right? Just because you have a loss for the day, whether it be today or yesterday or any other day, don't let that affect your trading psychology. Because I know a lot of people, once they get one loss, they start to lose it. And that's how people typically blow their accounts. That's why for me, when we had that loss here, because I think our loss happened. When did the loss happen? The loss happened right here. So I didn't have time to think. My loss happened right here. You can see the red arrow. This is where my loss happened for the breakout. And then the market flow V2 came up on the candle after. So I didn't want to FOMO into this trade. So instead of me just getting in right away, I just ended up letting it play through. And then it did play through. And then more entries came out right after. So to prevent you guys from trading on tilt, I would just set some sort of criteria for yourself. Either have one loss for the day or have a money loss or a monetary value. Because that's the tipping point for a lot of people. All right, guys, so we have a sell signal right here. If you guys are looking to take another market flow V2, there's a possible market flow V2 setting up right over here at the 510. I'm not going to take it because the volatility here is very low. Like I said, the volatility dies down at 7 o'clock, so not really expecting too much movement here. You guys can see these candles here are very small. Here's our clean chart. Let me go and mark up some structure to show you guys a little better. This middle line right here. There we go. All right, so there's not too much going on here. We had a lot of volatility here on open. And then when price got down to here, it just started ranging. Just going back and forth, back and forth. So if you guys are looking for some market flow V2s, again, the next entry, there's no entry that filled right here. So we're just moving the entry a little bit lower. So earlier it's at the 510, it's now at the 500. It's now at the 490. All right, still dropping down lower. It's now at the 480. Actually, I'll leave it back here at the 490. Mm. All right, here goes the team profits for the day. We got Jamie here. Jamie locked in 2,062 on her first account and a profit of 1,882 on her second account. Nice work, Jamie. And then we have Brock over here as well. Brock locked in 600, 300, 600, 630, and 600. So Brock locked in a total profit of, let's see, well over 3,000 for the day, it looks like. All wins for Brock so far. Nice work, Brock. All right, so still no entries over here for market flow. Looks like if price continues to drop lower, it's going to bring this entry down a little lower as well. Entry point is now going to be at the 480 mark right here. Price is kind of sitting at the liquidity. It's also a sessions. So there's a bunch of sessions down here, as you guys can see. There is the Asia low and the London low down here. It's going to be a tricky area to be trading in. So if you guys are looking to take trades, I'd be careful around this area because this is where manipulation tends to happen. Price might just spike right back up from here. Let's go to the SR chart. See if there's any new zones down here. Actually, there's no zones. I'll keep the old zones from yesterday. So these zones right here that I marked up, I actually drew these up yesterday morning. So this is from yesterday morning. And the crazy thing here is that price respected it. So as price came down lower, it still respected this area down here. All right, so it looks like it filled right here, guys. It filled in and probably already hit TP, or it's going to hit TP right there, full TP. So you guys can see the market flow. I had this drawn up already. So I had price was down here, and I said if price comes back up, the entry point would have been right here at the 480 mark. Price came up, filled the 480, came right down back down to full TP. And there goes another market flow entry right there. So you guys can see the market flow entry is a very strong strategy. If you guys want to just stick to the market flows, stick to the market flows. If you want to take the breakouts, take the breakouts. I'm personally going to take the breakouts, like I said, because I have the data on it. What I'm going to do here further is I'm going to, I think this is what I need to test next. So I think what I'm going to do next is I'm going to be testing, I'll just create another spreadsheet here with the market flow V2s, and then I'll be testing that out. I'm going to finish this a little further. I do want to go back pretty far just to kind of have an idea of like what we're working with. I want to get like a whole full year's data. So currently I'm at November. I want to go all the way back to September of 2023. I just want to see how it was working with the data that we have ahead of us. So I might go back all the way back to 2022. Because if this thing works long term, then there's like no reason to really take anything else, right? Because for example, so I did the math here. So 2,800 profit. So say for example, I'm doing 3 contracts times 5, and then this is for like not even a whole year's trading, like maybe less than a whole year's trading, times 2,800 points. That's going to be 42,000 per account, right? I have 20 Apex accounts, so like times 20 accounts, that's 840,000. So that's like within less than a year because I only went back to November. So that's why I want to go back further. I want to go, and this isn't even every day. It's only the days that we're able to pull up on the data sheets. Um, for this right here, I'm trying to go from basically a whole year's time and then kind of have an idea of like what I can expect taking this specific strategy for a whole year. Because I mean, it's a really easy strategy. If I just take it every day on open and I just let it set and forget it, then I'll be cool with it. Because it doesn't really take much to apply it. It's really just taking the entry and then letting the trade run. Oh, this market's getting me sleepy. So, all right, guys, if there's any more questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. There's not really too much going on with the market. Again, I'll look for some more market flow V2s here. If price swings back up, next market flow V2 will happen right here, but I wouldn't recommend taking any entries right here because it's going to have to cut into the sessions. This is pretty much what I was talking about before. So this is what I was talking about with CJ. I wouldn't take an entry if it has to cut into the sessions for TP. If it's going to bounce off it and then come back down to hit TP, then okay, I'm all right with that in some instances. But if it has to push through the sessions to reach TP, I wouldn't take it. I'll mark it up for you guys, but I wouldn't recommend taking it because there tends to be a lot of manipulation around those points. All right, so see if there's anything else here to look at. I guess we'll just wait to see what happens here. It's 7:20 right now, so we still got a lot of time. All right, so let's see what we got over here. We got price coming down lower, so the entry is now going to be at the 450 mark. So if you guys are not familiar with market flow, basically I'm just taking momentum, looking for the retracement, and then getting at the whole number. So price comes down, you have a sell momentum here, trend's bearish, trend meter's bearish, pivots are bearish, divergence is bearish. We're now getting down to like where all the sessions are sitting. So now if you want to take the entry, it'd be right here at now the 440 mark. Yeah, CJ. CJ said New York lows down here too at 416. Yeah, right there. There's just, so this is what a lot of people call a session sandwich, right? There's a bunch of sessions right here. Price is just sandwiched in between the sessions. So this is going to be tough to take some entries around these areas. I mean, you can trade between the sessions, but this is just a whole area where a lot of manipulation will tend to happen. So you'll see a lot of kind of back and forth between this area, which wouldn't really make a difference because we were already expecting back and forth to happen anyways. It's kind of, this is just how the market's been moving. CJ said we have some medium impact news coming up too. Is it at 7:30? Let me check. Yes, we got gas stock change. It always shows up as medium impact. It doesn't always affect the market very much, but yeah, it is basically medium impact. So I guess I'll hang out until like around 7:30, guys. This will probably be the last catalyst for the day because between here and between this news event and 8 o'clock, there's nothing else happening. So there might be some movement around 7:30, and then from there, it might just kind of slow down a bit. So if you guys have any more questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Otherwise, we'll hang around for a few more moments, about 6 minutes, and then we'll wrap it up for the day. So this market flow V2 hasn't filled yet. Entry's still at the the 440 mark. Hasn't filled yet, almost, but not quite. man, the volatility is whack. So we're technically in the spring season, but the volatility here is still pretty low. Uh, obviously you guys can see here, the volatility is not really, it's still the same. I mean, it's not as bad as it was in the summer, but it's still pretty slow. So like once it hits 7 o'clock, this is where it gets slow. This is why I like the breakout so much, because the breakout happens where the volatility is high and you can kind of just be done for the day. Like if you guys just want to take the breakout usually hits before 7 o'clock. So if you do take the breakout, you'll usually take the breakout, and then once you're out, you're out, and you're pretty much done. That's kind of what Jamie did today. So if you saw Jamie this morning, she was in the chat. She took a portion of the breakout. She just took it with regard to liquidity, made her 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 for the day, and then she was basically done. And that's kind of like how I like being too. It's why I'd put all my chips on the breakout for the most part. That's why my risk is 1,500, because I'm okay with taking that much risk on that specific trade. And if the win ratio is high enough, obviously it's worth the risk. All right, so this market flow never filled. You can see the volatility is just not high enough. What I'm looking for here is I'm looking for it to come up, spike to fill the order, and come right back down. This over here came up, just didn't come up high enough. So now the market flow V2 is going to be down here at the 430 mark. And you guys can see how the inconsistency of these candles are, right? You have like a bunch of really small candles, and then you get a huge candle, and you get a bunch of small candles, and then again, you'll get another huge candle. Here's a clean chart. Let's see, I'll mark up some structure right there. So you guys can kind of see how this is moving. This is kind of call this like a stairwell. It's coming down. It's like a snail movement. Preferably, I like this type of movement versus like the more volatile one. So if you're looking for the bigger move, this is kind of like how our entries played out on Monday and Tuesday. So again, if I pull that up, we had more of a stairwell down to the RTP, like this right here. The breakout for today was more of a spike. Price spiked up, spiked down, spiked up, then it spiked down, and of course it hit stop loss. It wasn't a stairwell move like it did yesterday. So yesterday was a slow move down, and then on Monday as well, slow move down. Here goes, price swings back up. We'll see if that market flow gets filled up there. I wouldn't take a market flow down here because the sessions are right there. It would have to cut through the sessions. I'd look for it to push up, come down from here. If you guys are looking to take it, you guys don't have to take it, but just wanted to leave that up there for you guys. So we got 2 minutes till news, guys. We'll wait until news passes. Once the news passes, we will wrap it up. So I'm going to turn off my Ninja. I'm pretty much done taking entries anyway, so I don't need it to be open. I'm going to turn off my laptop actually. So yeah, I am done trading for the day on my account. So I'll keep looking for entries here. If there's anything that you guys want me to cover, feel free to let me know. Again, we're having the mentoring session today at 2 o'clock. So if you guys want to sit in on that, feel free. I'll answer whatever questions you guys want, and then we'll go from there. So looks like the market flow right here filled already, guys. It filled on this candle, and it looks like it already hit TP, or it's going to hit again right here if you're still in it. So full TP right there. Looking back at the market flows, you guys can see this is a really good strategy. It's a good strategy if you can follow it. Even during low market conditions, it still works. It's just you just got to take the risk of like the slow market. So looking back at the market flow V2s here, let's see how many entries came up. So we identified these live. You pretty much saw them come up right there. We had a big move over here for 60 points. That's the first one. And then everything after that were smaller ones. So 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110. So 110 points right here for market flow V2s. There was no losses for the day. So pretty smooth entry. This is a type of market conditions that you want for this specific entry. So this strategy works well during the fall season. Now that we're in the fall season, you can see how smooth it is, right? Comes up, retrace, comes down, retrace, comes down, retrace, etc. It just keeps repeating the process and the pattern over and over again, and it's just perfect for this type of entry. So market flow V2s here worked out pretty good if you guys took any of the entries here. Otherwise, if you just took a breakout, that's just one trade for the day. Um, so let me scroll up real quick. Let's see. So Nikki's asking Sean, do you take the breakout only certain days? I noticed on your test journal a bunch of days are missing. I take them every day. The reason why those days are missing is because there's no data for those days. Um, the only days I was able to do every day was September because that's where we're currently at. I can just go back. If you go back to the specific contracts, there's only specific days that you can pull up. You can't pull up every single day. So no, they're taken every day. I wish I could go back every day, but there's not. There's certain platforms out there where you can go back a little further, but you can't. I can't get my indicator on there, so it doesn't. It wouldn't be any benefit to me because that's the only way I can check for the entry. So in order for me to back test it, I would need to pull up the momentum indicator. But yeah, the main reason why it's not on there is because when you go back to the here, I'll just show you real quick. So this is how I went back super far. So if you go back over here, so if you go back on just like the regular chart and you pull back, you can only go back to like September 1st or close to September 1st, right? If you go on the continuous chart. So if you want to go back pretty far, you can see over here it cuts off at September 1st. So if you want to go back farther, you just go back to the previous contract. So the we're currently on YMZ right here, right? So if you want to go back to the previous trade, you just go back to YMU. So YMU 2024. And so another reason why it's kind of cut off too is because if they're like, see how these candles here have no candles? I don't pull any data here because the data here is all screwed up. So I usually skip this week. For this week right here, this is like September 18th week. I would just skip that week and then I'd go to the week before. See how these candles are all kind of screwed up? Because there's no data there. So I'll just skip that week and then I'll go back to it like a whole fresh week. Because what I like to see is I like to see the data for the week. So I know what to expect like moving forward. So right here, then you go back further and you're like, okay, these candles look normal. So I go from this week, this is September 13th week. And I just keep going farther and farther back. And there's going to be, so the only days that are missing are the days aren't available, and then the days that are holidays. Because obviously we wouldn't trade on a holiday. And then this is how I go farther back. So you guys remember earlier it cut off at September 1st. So let's go a little further. Now I'm in August, right? So this is how I go back and I test stuff back in August. And then that's all I do. I just go back and then, so I said, for example, so I cut off at November 20th. And if I want to go farther back, I'll just go back to, so December is that. We'll go back to September again. So YMU 2023. YMU 2023. And then from here, I'll just go back and pull the same data. So this is September data from 2023. And then this is where I'll get the full circle because I can go from 2023 up until 2024. And then this is how I back test it. If you guys are curious to go back and test it, you can just go back and, so for example, right here, this is where the entry would happen. That's kind of how I test it. I'm like, okay, this is a loss. I put the loss in the chart. Or actually, I would skip this one. This is not a full week. My bad, guys. I just realized this wasn't a full week. This really week was kind of screwed up, the data. So I go back to like the Friday of that previous week, and then I would just test it from here. So 6:30, and she would happen there, and that's basically how I would test it. Now to go back further. So that's how I would go back and test it. I'm gonna go back and test this a little later. But I think this is gonna be it for the live session. Let me see if there's any more questions here. So Steven's asking if I can help him with the indicators. So Steven, to add the indicator to the chart, it's the same thing that I told you in our private message. You keep clicking this. I don't know why you click this over here. When you click this, it goes to the profile. You have to click on this. When you click on this, it goes to it adds the indicator to your chart. You just have to click on the indicator. Don't click on this over here, Steven. I don't know why you keep clicking on this over here. I keep saying if you click on this, it goes to the profile. That's why when you click on this here, it goes to the profile of the page. But if you click on this right here, it adds it to your indicator. So make sure you don't even look at this right here, Steven. If this is like confusing you, just don't even look at it. Like make it super small to the point where you can't even see it, right? So just look at this right here, Steven. Direct your focus to here, because when you click on this here, it'll add it to your chart. And that should fix it. CJ said Steven reminds me of Baby Groot when Rocky keeps telling him not to hit the red button. Yeah, he does. But yeah, see, don't click on this here. You just click on this. So, and to make things simple, don't even look at blue. Just act like you're colorblind. Don't look at anything that's blue. Just you could click on anything here if you want. Anything with the green line. Yeah, so this is telling you that you can only have two indicators on your chart because you're on basic. So yeah, that's what you would need. You need like it shows that you're trying to put 25 indicators on your chart right now, Steven. So what you have to do is you need to go to your chart and turn off and close out the indicators that you aren't using. So go over here real quick and then click X, 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 or just do this. This is easier. Click on the trash can, go to remove all indicators. So if you click this right here, it'll take everything off. So your screenshot shows you that you can only have two indicators because you're on the basic plan. You're on the free plan. If you want to add more than two indicators, you have to pay for a paid plan. Which, if you want, that's what you can do. If you don't want it, then that's fine. You can have two indicators on your chart at a time. But that's why you can't add any more to it. Sam said TradingView's got a $1 a month offer going on right now. So if you guys want to do that, I didn't see that offer, but I'm assuming like if you try to upgrade it, you can find it on there. Steven is asking, is two indicators enough? I mean, that's a question you have to answer, Steven. Is two indicators enough for you? My breakout's only on one indicator, so I only need one indicator for this. But I mean, it's up to you. What do you need? Do you need the pivots? Do you need the momentum? Do you need the trend meter? Do you need the divergence? What do you need? Do you need the sessions? Do you need the high lows? It's really up to you. So if you need those indicators, then yes, of course you need more than two. But if you're only taking the breakout, then you only need one indicator because that's all you're using. So let's see. Steven said he wants to take the breakout, market flow, and high low. If you want to take all of those, then you would need the momentum indicator. You would need the pivots. And I think that's it. If you want to, so if you're going to apply all those strategies, Stephen, you would need the specific indicators for that specific strategy. So for the breakout, you need momentum. For the market flow, you need the pivots. And then if you want to do high lows, then you would need the high lows. So that's three indicators, right? So if you need three indicators, that's more than two. And two is not going to be enough. So it's just, yeah, two is not enough indicators for you if you want to. Because obviously you need three indicators. You're applying three strategies that require three indicators. So I mean, you either take one strategy off or you, okay, yeah, if you want to do momentum and pivot, then that's fine, Steven. You can work off two indicators. You know, like I said, it's up to you, Steven. Whatever you want to use, it's up to your preference. But I mean, realistically, I only need like if I didn't need to show you guys everything that's happening on the chart, I could just use one indicator. That's like all I really need. The pip, the momentum, because that's all I'm doing for the breakout. But if you want to apply all the other stuff, then yeah, I mean, two indicators should be fine if you want the momentum and the pivot. Because I've never even seen you take the high low. I was kind of surprised you mentioned the high low. I've never seen you take the high low strategy. I mean, maybe you've seen it when I've called it out, but I've never seen you talk about the high low strategy. So I was a little confused when you mentioned that you take the high low as well, because we haven't even been taking the high low. So yeah, if you just want to apply those two, you only need two indicators. You need the pivots and you need the momentum. That's pretty much it. You don't need the trend meter because you already have the trend with the pivots. You don't need the divergence. That's just extra. So yeah, you can do basically both strategies with just two indicators on there. Thanks, Sam. Yeah, so Sam showed this right here. He said upgrade for $1, 1 month for upgraded features, dollar. Yeah. So I mean, if you want to do that, Steven, you can do that too, but you should be fine with the two indicators. Thanks, Sam, for the heads up on that. Let's see. Sam said he's unable to get over revenge trading. He took 3 trades today, 2 profit, 1 loss, trying to cover it, ended taking 26. Oh shit. 26 trades in total, made $50 to 496 loss. So I think the best way to really get over revenge trading, Sam, is to just set a goal, right? Set a goal. Like for me, if I take 1 loss for the day, I'm usually done. It's just it takes a big hit to my morale because I don't like losing trades very much. Um, so for me, usually if I have 1 loss, like for example, today we took the breakout. I could have like easily jumped into the market flow entry right here, but I didn't because for one, there was a red flag right there. And for two, I just wasn't confident with my entries because we took that loss, right? Usually when I take a loss, I need to have about like a 5 minute cooling off period, usually. So I lose a trade and then I have a 5 minute cooling off. Then I think about, okay, do I want to keep trading and risk more? Or am I okay with that loss for the day and am I done? So I think the best way to get over revenge trading, Sam, is to just cut yourself off, right? I think I think depending on the strategy that you're taking, because I'm not sure what you're taking. You took 26 trades. That's a lot of trades um, in total. I would probably so I would stick to like maybe one or two entries. I would just limit yourself to one or two entries, and then just set a limit. Yeah. So if you set yourself to two entries for the day, usually if you have 1 loss, you can try to make it back. So that's what I talked about earlier. I lost for the breakout, but I could have taken this one here to make it back. But and this was actually my plan. So my plan was to take one breakout and one market flow. But for the past 2 days, we haven't taken any market flows because we were stuck in the breakout till 7 o'clock. Um, so I think that the best way to really fix that, Sam, is to just have two set entries for the day. Just have two entries in your mind. If those two entries lose, then just be done for the day. Eat the loss, move on to the next day. I think that's the best way to get over revenge trading. Because if you don't get over that, um, you're basically like one day, you're one bad day away from blowing your account, right? Because you took 26 trades today. Those 26 trades, if they ended up in losses, then, or if they all ended up in losses, you could have ended up pretty bad. So yeah, my advice is in order for you to not FOMO, just set a max trades for the day. I think 2 max trades a day is probably going to help you the most. Yeah, exactly, Sam. Yeah, Sam said, yeah, the bigger losses, smaller profits, and two is best. Yeah, and then once you have those two, so once you're satisfied with the two trades for the day, Sam, you're gonna start to understand that it's okay to just take losses and move on, right? And that's gonna help you take less and less trades. Because I remember when I first started trading, I used to be the same way. I would take like 20 trades or 50 trades a day. I would trade all day between like 5:30 up until noon. And then I would end up with like 200 bucks in profit. And I'm like, what did I do all day? I just ended up taking a whole bunch of trades that ended up winning, losing, winning, losing. And then at the end of the day, I barely made anything. So now it's better to just take bigger risk on like two trades, two quality trades, and then be done with it. Steven is asking, for market flow, we use the K2 pivots. For breakout, we use momentum divergence. No. So we don't really use the momentum divergence for anything aside from the divergence entry, Steven. For the breakout, we use the momentum indicator. So for market flow, you use the momentum indicator and you use the pivots indicator. So this is a market flow entry right here, right? Use momentum because that's how you know which direction to trade it. So if you have a sell momentum here, you're looking for sells only. Price has to be below the pivots. That's why I use the pivots. So price comes below, retraces back up. Once it gets near the pivots, that's where you take your entry. For the breakout, you only use the momentum indicator, not momentum divergence, the momentum indicator. This is the momentum indicator right here. You don't really use this for anything unless you're trading the divergence strategy, which you aren't. So you don't really need that at all. The momentum indicator is called a proprietary one, Stephen. It's this one right here, the KT Trades proprietary trading system. It's the same one you've been using for like the past 8 years, Stephen. That's funny. It's the same one you've been using from like when you first joined, Stephen. The names never changed. Yeah, it's always been that one. Yeah, from when we started. But when you add it, so like when you click on that there, it shows up as Kodi Kai momentum. But it's like the same one. It's the same one, like the very first indicator that was created and the one you've been using for a while now. All right, guys, we've been on the session for a little longer than I would have hoped for. There's just not much going on here. You can see prices going back and forth. So I think we're going to wrap this up for the day. This is typically what happens after 7, and this is usually why I don't trade after 7 o'clock. So if you guys have any more questions, feel free to reach out. Steven just posted a screenshot of his chart. Yeah, that looks fine. So that looks fine right there. Yeah, no problem, Steven. Yeah, so you're good to go. I mean, that's pretty much all you need. So other than that, guys, I think that's it. If you guys have any more questions, feel free to reach out. Another reminder, we're having the mentoring session today at 2 o'clock. So I'll be gone for about 6 hours. I'm just going to take a little break. I'll come back around 2 p.m. We'll go live for the mentoring session. I'll answer whatever questions you guys have, and then we'll wrap this up for the day. If you guys have any more questions, or if you guys want me to answer something specific on the mentoring session, but you can't attend, feel free to put your you can just message me your question on Discord and then I'll answer it during the mentoring session. So if you guys have any specific questions, feel free to put them in the chat or just message me privately and I'll answer them during the mentoring session. No, I'm not free right now, Steven. It's the whole reason I'm going on the break. Going on a break right now so I can come back for the mentoring session, but no, I'm not free right now. I've been on this session for like 2 hours now, so I got to take a break. Yeah, question, CJ. What is it? See, quick question. Do you think market will reverse? Let's see. Personally, I think it will. So it was like what we talked about earlier. I don't have the markup here anymore. Let me go back to where I am. So looking at this right here, I think I took off the markup. Yeah, sorry, I took out the markup. So I had the markup here earlier. Yeah, I do think market will reverse. Well, what I think is happening here is it's just coming down for the news tomorrow. So I think it's coming down for the news and it's going to correct back up to kind of stabilize a little bit. And then tomorrow we have a lot of high impact news. Oh, we have Powell speaking tomorrow too. Yeah, so we have some high impact news tomorrow. I think it's setting up for the news tomorrow because we have durable goods. This is high impact stuff, GDP growth rate. And then the big stuff right here is going to be continuing jobless claims 4-week average, and initial jobless claims for September. So we have basically all of the the jobs data right here, which is going to go hand in hand with the interest rate news and also going to go hand in hand with the inflation news. So I think the market right now is just being slightly manipulated to the downside because we're getting close to the all-time high. And then I think it's going to swing back up, of course, eventually. Might not happen today, but I think by tomorrow it'll probably swing back up. Between now and tomorrow, it'll swing back up eventually. Yeah, we got a lot of news tomorrow, so we'll see what we got in store when it comes closer to market open. So, all right, guys, I think that's it for the day. If you guys have any more questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I will see you guys back here at 2 p.m. for the mentoring session.